presentation. As Rockford alluded to, we did have a good piece of news today for another Conrad Award Scholarship winner today. Spent the afternoon at the County Center with our cheerleaders who are performing in the Westchester County Championship down there. So at any moment, hopefully we'll get some good news on them. It was a pleasure to go see them. But I wanted to highlight some of the success that we have here, that we're very proud of here in our community. We still maintain a good participation rate. Over 50% of our students in grades 7 to 12 play a sport. We still maintain our GPA of the athlete versus non-athlete is higher. We still are producing New York State Scholar Athlete teams. I can now say that this slide is incorrect because now it's 4 winners thus far for our Contest and Scholar Athlete winners. It's something that I'm very proud of. Andrew Cutson, we are probably one of the most successful in that award area across the entire region. Today, when Caitlin won it, she was the 114th winner. And the only schools that have more than us are some of the bigger schools, White Plains and New Rochelle's down county. So we've been very successful for decades in that regard, something we're very proud of. We've had league champions already, sectional champions. We've had New York State qualifiers. Our athletes like to do a lot of work for community awareness, and they raise money for various charities. Those are some of the ones that they like to raise money for. We have another one coming this Saturday. Our boys basketball team is playing another mental health awareness game. We continue to do a sportsmanship promotion, which is always a popular thing. We take some of our current athletes and our elementary students and work with them, and we put posters at our elementary schools. And it's now coming around, I've been doing it for so many years, that some of the kids in the program were in 2 posters. They were there as 3rd and 4th graders, and now they're there as leaders in our community as 11th or 12th graders. So it's pretty cool to see that as we go around to our schools. Our alumni connection continues to be strong. Our Hall of Fame weekend is one of the most popular weekends of athletics of the year. It's a popular day. We have more and more teams creating alumni games with them coming back to support our current athletes. The Hall of Fame area was refurbished still. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress every year. So it's something that I enjoy doing, and the kids like seeing a lot of the stuff we've had. The unified sports, as Mr. Hochreiter alluded to, this is something that Henhut is clearly at the forefront of. We started this program last year. Myself and 4 other athletic directors took the initiative to really start that in the community, in the entire section. So there were 5 schools last year. Somehow I've become the unofficial Section 1 chairperson of this program, which I'm enjoying. And so now this year we have about 12, maybe even 13 schools we found out today. So it's a program that's continuing to grow, and programs and communities are excited for this. So we'll look to start that up again with the kids that will be participating in it. Probably the first week of April, and run it through April and May as well. It was very popular last year, and our kids are already excited for it. As you know, our athletic complex we very excitedly opened up this past fall. And some of the fiscal responsibilities I put in here as well. You'll see as we get to some of the numbers, we were able to, myself and Liz Gilio, work with an internal reduction to reduce some of our transportation for next year. And then the old overtime, we're going to hold the line again. I spoke with Anthony Merlini in regards to that. We cut back some of the holiday time that some teams might be practicing on particular days where overtime was going to be used. If the practice or a team was there, we'll hold small windows for that matter. So Anthony and I are able to hold that line. And as we get into the numbers for this year, there's going to be two different slides. This is the contractual salary, the budget lines for all the contractual pieces. So the first one is coaching salaries. The number that we had this year, you can see, is $482,825. Through some attrition of coaches and just a changeover in that, we're going to be able to come in a reduction for that for next year. So that's going to come in even with the contractual obligations that we have for that. So it's a little bit less, it's a minus 1.1%. Staff salaries, which are people in the athletic office that work, is the contractual obligation of that increase of 1.73. And then there's a small overtime that I do for whether it be Nicole Reddy in the office or Meg Griner in the office, that sometimes things come up specifically in the summer prior to when sports come up. So but we'll handle an internal reduction there from 2,500 down to 2,000. So the overall contractual, you can see there is it's a little under 0.1 -%. So it's a little bit of a savings there. The remaining lines are the non-salary and the non-salary, non-contractual lines. So our equipment line is a major. This is where I'm able to save a bulk of our money. We do not need to replenish a lot of the equipment in the weight room since we were able to do that last year. So that can be a significant decrease. The supplies and the contractual, even with those other decreases, you'll see there are some increases there, and I'll get into that in some of the others in the upcoming slides. But our supplies, our contractual, which is a variety of different things that we have to do, our BOCES costs for Section 1 offices, our chaperones, these are all some slight increases. As I said earlier, the transportation one, in working with Liz Gilio, we are able to come in at a slight reduction there. So with all of that, it's a negative 5.4% savings with all of that. But I do want to come back to some of the, there you go. There's the total budgetary with the total contractual and the total non-salary and non-contractual. So altogether, it's minus 1.95%. And I did want to speak a little bit about the line increases. Thank you. So the staff salaries with an increase, as I said, that's contractual. The supplies increase, the main reason for that is there are a lot of changes from New York State Public High School Athletic Association and the NFHS, National Federation of High School, for safety requirements. There are a lot of different sports that are coming in with various safety requirements where much of our supplies at the end of this year will not be able to be used. They have to be thrown out and discarded due to some safety regulations coming up. And that kind of ties into the next one with the contractual. Some of the reconditioning of some of the equipment now is also going to be mandated. Some stuff I have to mandate to get it reconditioned, so there's all sorts of regulations coming up for safety guidelines with the NFHS specifically. The BOCES line, the specific reason for that one is that there's a new contract for officials that has gone into effect this year. There's additional fees from the BOCES, and then with their increase in line, that's why there's a slight increase there. The chaperones had a slight increase. It's very hard to predict that one. I talked to Enrique a lot on that, or Mr. Mack and Mr. Anderson. We work all the time on that. And a lot of it is sometimes successive teams, who you play. If you have a string of rivalry games and we're having large crowds, we have to plan accordingly. Sometimes there's things that we have to be prepared for, and working with other school districts and myself working with my fellow athletic director and be prepared for something that we know may have happened outside the athletic fields or in the schools that we have to be prepared for, and we have to come planned accordingly with the various chaperones. So a slight increase for that reason for that.
And sometimes postseason.
And that's it. So if you have a lot of teams that do good, that's going to affect the coaching. It's going to affect the chaperones. And as I said, I think this year for this presentation, I think we maintained being fiscally responsible here. The attrition that we had, we were able to save some money, and some of the internal reductions and the planning of the long term there with our weight room, and unfortunately some of the other increases I don't have a choice with in terms of the New York State regulation. So we still offer 31 different varsity programs. We have 64 teams. We have the ample opportunity. Kids are taking advantage of it. It's a great part of their day. I know they're excited when practice and game time starts. So I think that we do a lot of great stuff here, and our community's proud of it. And it's always an exciting part of the day going out and see our student athletes perform at their levels daily. So it's something that I'm proud of, and I know the community enjoys it as well. So, and I always put this quote up there, Coach Doug Fritz. His favorite quote, "It's a great day to be a sailor." So, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Does anybody have questions for Mr. Dept?
That's great.
Thank you very much.